What's up, 49er faithful? It's your boy Chili Will. Welcome to the 49er Street Squad. Yes, we are back after another day of 49er football on Monday night. And apparently, I wish I could be on right now with a little more happiness and gratitude, but just came up short. And it was a little tough. So I'm feeling it like you guys are feeling it. But you know what? That's why we have each other, so we can get together and talk some 49er football. So without further ado, let me bring on my man all the way from Las Vegas, Mr. Niner Rio de Janeiro, baby. Let's bring him on in. Rio!
Yo, what's
Merry
up?
Christmas, my brother.
Merry Christmas, man. Merry Christmas.
So your happy holidays, I'm sure, were very loving and wonderful with the family, and I'm sure you was excited about Monday Night Football game, the game that I think everybody was ready to watch. This was sort of like going to be the, if you will, the pre-Super Bowl showdown. This was supposed to give us a real estimate on, what team was going to be the team, because obviously whoever won this game would have had the best record in the NFL and walked away with most bragging rights for now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it wasn't us.
Yeah, it wasn't. It definitely wasn't us. And I tell you, one thing that I got from this game that made me feel okay is that I'm happy that it happened now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I feel the same way.
Say if we were to meet them in the Super Bowl, and that was
And it went down like that.
first meeting.
Oh, I know.
You know what I mean? So for me, that's how I'm looking at it. That's the positive that I'm going to pull out of this.
And I'm glad you said that, because going into the game, I felt a lot the same way. I said, you know what? All right, this is just a bragging rights game. Whoever, kind of walks away with this, okay, just basically you got bragging rights for the day, right? I mean, just like any other football game of the weekend, you're going to be able to say, oh, yeah, I went in there, took care of business and took care of whoever, and not to take nothing away from the Ravens, but, the boys brought it just like I thought, like I beginning of the season, I usually go over the schedule and I kind of look at what teams look like the toughest that we might have trouble with. And I know from the past, we've always had trouble with the Baltimore Ravens. And so they were one of the teams I did pick that I thought, if we do have a loss, this could be one of the teams. So that's why it didn't quite surprise me. I still thought we would have showed up a little better and played better, but I knew it was going to be really tight, even though my score didn't say so. I said like 54-20. It was nowhere close.
Yeah.
But I'm always, that's always going to be my score. But my Niners, man, because those kind of numbers they've been putting up, right? So I mean, I'm proud of that. So but hey, I'm never going to put my boys on the losing end of the stick here. So but I knew it was going to be tough. I knew this was going to be a game that had to be won in the trenches. It was going to come down to turnovers.
Yep.
And Brock Purdy, unfortunately, had not one, not two, not three, but 4 turnovers in this game. And there's not many teams in the NFL, I don't care who the heck you're playing against, it's going to be hard to come back from 4 turnovers in the game. Which is unfortunate, because if you really kind of look at the whole perspective, beginning to end of this game, Rio, I think the Niners really, and the numbers show it, Brock was, he was like 16 for 32, but he had 255 yards passing, but he, like I said, the 4 interceptions, and he got sacked a couple of times.
I know he had 255 because I bet on his yards, and the yards was 250.
Oh,
over
you
250.
Oh, you got that one.
I got that one, but I coupled it with the Niners to win.
I see. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's why I say the numbers don't really, didn't really I mean, they showed, but they didn't really justify this game for the Niners because what's his name? This guy I noticed on here on Twitter, he was Chase Senior. He said the 49ers had more passing yards than the Ravens. They had 308. Ravens had 241. The 49ers had more rushing yards than the Ravens, which was 121 to 102. Niners had 6.3 yards per play to the Ravens 5.4 yards per play. You know, so, but what he said, but when you turn the ball over 5 times, it's impossible to win. And that's the story of the game. 49ers had no trouble. Understand this. The 49ers had no trouble moving the ball against the number 1 defense in the NFL. They beat themselves. And that is very true. I think that pretty much puts it all in good perspective, you know, and that's why I walked away from this game real. Obviously, yeah, a little butthurt, but you know what? It was because we beat ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
And we always talk about, we always say, if we're going to lose a game, it's because we beat ourselves. Ain't so much what the other team did. I mean, yeah, they got the, you know, obviously caused the turnovers and everything, which, you know, kudos to them. We're going to give them their flowers, you know. Ravens deserve it, but, you know, we messed up. Oh, yeah. You know, and it's going to happen. There's going to be many quarterbacks, many teams obviously going to have that. We can go back to 2019, right? Remember we played the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we turned the ball over like about 3 or 4 times in that game. We're supposed to win it.
Yep.
And Steelers was a good team. I mean, they had a good, you know, obviously a good defense and everything. And man, Jimmy was trying to give that one away. And because of our stellar defense, that kept us in that game. And this time, our defense was, I think they came, you know, the beginning of the game, I felt good because, you know, you could tell it was like, okay, who's going to punch you in the mouth first and set the tone, you know? And the Niners, man, they were all over it. You know, they weren't making it easy for Jackson. I mean, he found himself even sacked in the, well, he didn't get sacked in the end zone, but he did throw a ball while he was in there, and it counted as a safety. So it was 2 points on the board, you know. So, I mean, the defense was looking rather relentless in the beginning, you know, and pretty solid. So I was kind of like, I was sitting there, I was like, okay. I saw that, and I said to myself, I said, I think we're in for a game here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That we're going to be in a dogfight right here. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what defense is going to force what quarterback to mess up? And see, that's what happened. You know, apparently the Ravens defense got the best of our boy, Brock Purdy, and did not make it easy for him. You know, they shut down what seemed like, I don't want to say they shut down, but, you know, for the most part, they held Brandon Ayuk and Debo pretty much in check. He had, you know, Purdy had problems really throwing, you know, usually, you know, these guys are in stride running their routes. He could just lift that ball up, you know what I mean, and just send it to him. But, you know, cornerbacks had him second guessing. You know, there was a few times I saw him do that hesitant kind of throw, and I thought, oh, he's going to have a little trouble today because he did it a few times. You know, you could tell he was going to let it go, but he held it back. Then he's looking at second, third read, looking for somebody else open, and, you know, by that time the pressure was in his face. He was either getting sacked or again throwing in INTs. I mean, these guys act like it was volleyball, you know what I'm saying? It was just jumping up, smacking that thing in the air and just getting some real key turnovers. So it was very unfortunate, man. It was very unfortunate, you know, and like I said, to see the guys still put these kind of numbers out there, you know, yardage, rushing and everything, you know, not be able to have nothing to count for it, you know. And I want to say the Ravens, you know, because out of those 4 turnovers, now the first one they turned it over, they actually went 3 and held the Ravens went 3 and out, but then the next 3 after that, the Ravens got 2 touchdowns and a field goal off that. So that was like 14, 56, 17 points that we kind of gave them pretty easy. And if you subtract that from 33, I don't know, was that about like 16? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it could have been a different outcome in this game.
Yeah, it could have been, definitely, especially with these interceptions. I'm trying to upload this video. I have this video that I wanted to play.
Oh, okay.
I had this video that was going through the interceptions. It's a short video. going through the Brock Purdy interceptions, but I'm trying to find out where to upload right here. If I could find it, that would be cool. But yeah, I just feel like going through those interceptions and going through the missed opportunities, the line was not protecting Purdy.
No.
They weren't protecting him. There was times where people were just unblocked.
Yeah.
Coming in.
Yeah, they rushed with 5 a little bit. There was a couple of times, they brought the house and up the middle too, especially on I want to say the let's see, right guard spot. Feliciano, he looked like he was struggling a little bit at times, and there was a lot of pressure coming right up that middle between him and the center. And yeah, like you said, they did not give Brock Purdy enough time, to throw, but Brock Purdy doesn't usually need a lot of time. I mean, he usually got that ball out of his hand like 2.5 seconds. You know what I mean? But that's why I give more credit to their secondary for, shutting and anticipating these passes to Debo and Brandon Ayuk, because they did their homework, man. I mean, if anything, the Ravens were studying tape, and I think they really did their homework, and they were just really prepared. I think they really got the study on them guys and their route running, and anticipation. And they kind of just, you can see their guys just kind of sat in a lot of those positions just to wait, for that ball to be thrown where they thought it was going to be thrown to. And it kind of did make a difference. So I made a big difference actually. So yeah, you know what, Ravens, like I said, they came out, man, punched us in the mouth, and the defense really caused a lot of havoc down there. And like I said, it was going to be one in the trenches, man. I mean, I'm still having some serious, I don't know if you heard it. Oh, you didn't hear it, did you? Let me hear it again.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, I got still a lot of emotional damage from this game. But I know a lot of faithful do. But you know what? Like I said, matter of fact, you even said it. Thank goodness it was a season game, right? Let's bring in my boy, the man, all the way from Niner Tailgate, Pole 20, Green Lot 1, who was having a great time with family. He had his family out there. Yes, it was so great to see him and the family and just everybody. Everybody was having a great time, faithful, throwing down. But let's bring in my boy, Antonio.
What's going on, guys?
Merry Christmas, baby. Merry Christmas.
Double A.
Cracking, man. What's cracking, guys?
Oh, we're sitting here.
49ers line is cracking. That's
Whew. Yeah,
did you get a chance to go back and kind of rewatch any of it, Antonio?
I'm gonna, I didn't watch it today again. Okay. I think I'm gonna move forward. I'm gonna scratch this game. I think it was a humble pie for the entire team. I don't like when the media is on us, like saying we're great.
And now that's a good thing that you brought that up, because just to put it out there, I did not put on any of those first takes or what's that disputed.
I didn't watch anything.
None of them. I didn't want to hear. I did not want to hear the BS. I didn't want to hear the BS because I knew they're going to be talking crazy.
Yeah, you got to kind of turn off the noise, because you know what, I think it's my fault, guys, why they played so bad. I was driving to the game, and I booked my Vegas flights to the Super Bowl like that right when I was pulling into the parking lot, and I think I was feeling myself a little bit. And
that when you put the flights in when you were driving?
Yeah. I was driving in and I booked the flight because, I'm like, you know what? I'm starting to call my boys, like, we're ready, and then I forgot there was a game, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
And so, you kind of, it's a humbling experience, but, they came out ready to play. I think Brock Purdy throwing that against the body pass, it finally caught up with him, man. He got away with those. And, the O-line. How's Trent Williams? That's my biggest thing. How is he okay?
He's got a groin issue, I guess, and so it's, day to day. But obviously, don't know for sure he's going to play in the Washington game yet until the week. Because Niners now going to coming off this short week,
right?
And don't have much time to heal. So not exactly sure on the whole status. But last time I heard it had something to do with a groin. but he was kind of walking. I was watching him on the sideline. He was kind of walking around, looking like, I mean, looked okay. So
Yeah, yeah,
I'm hoping the groin injury isn't as serious as, I think he was just yanked out because the game was out of reach. No
yeah.
use of risking him getting hurt anymore if he was already a little dinged up. So I think it was when he went down trying to chase after homeboy, trying to get that fumble, that ball out of his hands. I thought he did recover it. From where I was standing, I goes like, "Oh, Big Trent with the steal back, all right." But unfortunately, it didn't count because homeboy was down when he got the ball. So,
Yeah.
but hey, he was relentless, and the big man was hustling. You know what I'm saying? I was surprised. I mean, he was still out there running around chasing, trying to make a play. So that was good.
Right.
Good effort.
Well,
So
it,
go
uh,
ahead.
it it tells you right now how important that home field 1 week off is going to be.
Yeah. Yes.
These guys got to stop playing around. And they didn't look ready. I didn't. That first drive they get down there, and then it's an interception in the end zone. Kind of gave me a little bit of a reminder of Jimmy G days, because Jimmy G
Yeah.
would do that. Get and you're like, damn. But then the safety, the defense, and then it just seemed like the defense just got tired out. The defensive line wasn't healthy, so you could tell as the game went on, it was just.
Yeah, I was telling Rio, I felt like, like you said, the Ravens came out a little more locked in, focused. You can tell they did their homework. They studied some tape, and pretty much kept Debo and Ayuk, tied up for the most part because, Brock Purdy, he wasn't able to kind of get that out of his hand like that 2.5 seconds like he's used to throwing. And you saw the hesitant, he would do that kind of like he was going to throw, but held it back. Said, "Oh no, that's not open." Then I kind of jacked up his whole rhythm. You know what I mean? So now he's got to look at his second and third, guys to see who's going to throw to him. By then he's run for his life or getting sacked or something. So, or ball batted in his face. So that's why I just think that, like I said, I was telling Rio earlier, I feel that Ravens just came out. They came out and did their thing. They were locked in. They kind of punched us in the mouth, and they set the tone for the game for themselves.
It did.
Do you guys feel that the play calling was bad too?
You think that they would have? I mehave, because they had a little extra day, right, to kind of get ready for this game, knowing what was coming in, and I would have hoped that Kyle Shanahan would have adjust some of his calls and maybe come out with something a little fresh and new, haven't been seen before. But it seemed like he had the same old kind of stuff going on, and that's why I say Ravens, they looked at video, they probably, really studied his play calling, and it was making sense, and it made them, cause them to get turnovers and plays on these guys, and I kind of threw him for a loop. So yeah, I would say Kyle Shanahan's play calling was absolutely suspect quite a bit. Yeah.
I think they put Brock in a lot of passing downs. Christian McCaffrey had a good game. Maybe you run more. I don't know, but I think when we got behind, we weren't catching up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we kept giving the ball back to him.
Yeah.
The turnovers are killing us. Like, gosh, every time. That's why I say, I was telling Rio, I was reading the Twitter thing from Chase Center. So what's his name? Oh, Chase Senior. He goes, 49ers had more passing yards than the Ravens, 308 yards to 241. 49ers had more rushing yards than the Ravens, 121 to 102. And San Francisco outgained Baltimore 429, and they had 343. So, it wasn't like we had an issue getting the ball downfield. I mean, Brock Purdy at times was flowing. I mean, he had the chains moving, but it was when these turnovers were happening in crucial moments where we were getting ready to score, or we were, too far back in their side of the field, turned the ball over, and then it was like one play they scored back, and we pretty much gave them like, 14, 15, 17 points to these guys off of those three, well, 4, but the 3 that really counted, it was like 17 points.
Yeah. No, it's my bad on that. My phone here. This is what I did here, and I agree with it. this game isn't the end of the Niners. I think this is gonna, it just humbles the entire team that they're gonna have to play better. But maybe it's the end of Brock Purdy MVP talk. Maybe that's the end of that. Maybe it's more of that than anything else. But I think he's excelling where he's at anyway. I think that this could be. I think this one goes a little bit on the coaches too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely.
I think this definitely ends the Brock Purdy MVP, and the reason why I say that is because when Brock Purdy went against the Eagles, I felt like that's when he got himself in, sort of solidified himself as MVP
Right.
candidate, right? And then he plays the next game, does incredible. So then his odds go up even more. Now, this last game, right, was the ultimate piece because now you're going head to head. That's how they're judging, right? Even though it's not quarterback versus quarterback per se, but they are judging you guys based on your stats, comparable stats. So, Lamar Jackson outshined him all the way. And so with that being said, I feel like there's no way for him to recover with these last two games. Even if he has two perfect games, the last two games, it's not enough to recover because of that head-to-head matchup. So that's where that bet goes down the drain.
Which is fine. I mean, I can live with that, as like you said, this is the good thing. We're still in first place. We lost to a team in the AFC, so it doesn't really affect us as far as any of the. I mean, we lost, but we're still in first seed, tied with now 3 other teams. So now we just got to take care of business. We got 2 more games left on the schedule, which is Washington Commanders and the LA Rams. And we gotta be a little concerned, like you said, about them Rams, because I went after you would tell me about them, I kind of went back and watched them. I was like, whoa, yeah, these guys looking like they're trying to do something, So we can't take them lightly,
Right.
And they would love to play spoiler.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that can, who knows? So there's a lot riding in these next 2 weeks for the Niners and everybody else, the Cowboys and Philadelphia. I mean, who's gonna secure that? We gotta secure that 1 seed so we can keep all the like Tone said, get that bye week and then head into the playoffs, nice and fresh.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Give your stat. I'll give you mine at the end.
Yeah. No, I mean, maybe it goes back to Christian McCaffrey MVP because this man has got 258 attempts on 1,395 yards.
Yeah.
And
what's
14 TDs. 14 TDs with a 5.4 rushing average. He's the best running back in the league. And maybe it goes to Christian McCaffrey. I think he's up there in that conversation. 1,300 yards right now. There's 2 games left. He can be at 1,500.
But just
that's just on
the
that's not passing.
Yeah, you're not counting the passing because I think he's in the 20s, right? He's total touchdowns.
Yeah, he's in. He has 63 receptions for 539 yards and 7 receiving TDs.
Right.
14 TDs on the ground.
Right.
So he's got over 20 touchdowns. Yeah. So you see that he's doing that. I mean, maybe Shanahan should have been calling his name this whole game. I don't know. Because some unnecessary pass plays down there that put a lot of heat on Brock Purdy. But I still think Christian McCaffrey's in the conversation for MVP.
I'm going to tell you guys something that I noticed. Even my girl noticed this. And before I talk about it, I need to make a reference. Did anyone of you guys watch Winning Time? The Lakers show on HBO, Winning Time?
Oh wait, on HBO?
Yeah,
was that the story about when Magic Johnson was there and all that, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
There was an important episode, and it's so funny because I'm making a reference to it because of this game. In that episode, Magic Johnson was playing Julius Erving for the first time, I believe. And Julius Irvin, man, he took him out, man, showed him a good time, and Irvin was even, man, Magic was happy, chilling, they laughing,
Mhm.
and then they get on the court, and Julius just served them, and Magic
Mhm.
was like, "Dog, like I thought we were friends, right?" He was
Yeah.
thrown off.
Right.
When I watched the game yesterday, what pissed me off is I saw so much friendly, yeah, man, good play. And oh yeah, what's up? Like between Lamar and the Niners defense
Mhm.
and just the Ravens and the there was no, like with Philly, there was no love.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. You
We
showed up
came
in
out
black
all
outfit.
black. We came out crazy,
Mhm.
right? We
Right.
didn't
Mhm.
have that same
Yep.
fire
Yep.
in this game. I felt like they felt like, yeah, we cool. Y'all in the AFC, we in the NFC. Yeah, man, we cool. But the Ravens, they know what they were doing.
Mhm.
But the Niners was not hungry
Yep.
like they normally are. I feel
Really?
like, yeah, I mean, watch that game, Chili.
I could feel that energy watching that game that we took Christmas off.
Yeah.
We took Christmas off. They say in the in the
Mm.
military. I was just joking with the guys. I was like, in the Vietnam War, they took a day off on Christmas and shook hands, right? Like
Yeah.
this is not a day to shake hands. We're still in a war right now,
Thank you.
and there's a lot of distractions having one thing is, Thanksgiving Day, that's a football day. Like
Mhm.
even I would go to the park as a kid on Thanksgiving morning and try to play some football. But like Christmas, that's a day off day, right? Like, so guys played like it was their day off.
But they were too friendly.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you, watch the game, Chili. They were friendly as hell, and I was pissed off. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I'm like, why
Yeah.
y'all acting so friendly, man? Like when Lamar made that big run, when the Niners defense came up to him, like, man, nice one, man. Nice what? Are you
You know,
serious?
I gotta admit, I do recall a few moments where, yeah, I did see that kind of, player to player kind of like, hey, man, yeah, nice run, good hit, kind of
Yeah,
like, yeah,
man. Come on, man.
little fist
You
bump or something, but
no, man. We can't do
I,
that.
yeah,
We can't
you're
do
right.
that, man.
Yeah, the
You know what I'm
mentality,
saying?
you're right. I think they might have came in a little too jolly soft.
Way too,
Maybe
man.
Christmas Day, like Antonio said, maybe they said, we're going to take the day off. It's Christmas. We're just going
Yeah,
to
I
see how
blame
this
it on
goes.
myself, guys. I came in like
And
that.
all those tickets, man.
I
It's
came in
not
happy with the kids and family. Like I was like, yeah, it's Christmas. Like, like
double
it
A.
was
It's
just one
not
of
your
those
fault,
good,
man.
yeah.
It's my fault, man. I got my Purdy jersey for Christmas.
Oh,
And I
I've been
threw
can't
my
wait for that
Purdy
jersey.
jersey on, and
Yeah.
he threw 3 picks, and I snatched that jersey off. And I
I
switched.
thought I was the only one that thought that way, man. I had Purdy
No,
jersey too, and I'm
man.
like, I keep that jersey far away from me during the regular season because, yeah,
Dude,
every
listen.
time I wear a QB's jersey, my
Hey,
QB's getting hurt or something's going sideways, man. It's not going to be good. So I
guess what? The whole time
can't be
Debo
waiting.
was going crazy, I've been wearing the Debo jersey.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
You understand me?
you switched it up.
I hurry up, man, but it was too late, man. It was 3 in the like. By the time I realized, I was like, "Wait a minute, wait, what the?" And
Yeah.
it was too late. So
So you're saying you had some
Emotional
serious
damage.
emotional damage over that, Rio?
yeah, I got that for sure.
Yeah, I that's why my thing is too. I it's one of those things I feel like I can't wear any particular player's jersey because I'm afraid if I do, something's gonna happen. So that's why I go to the games. You don't, right, Tone? You never
Yeah.
see me. I so far have not worn and if it is a player's jersey, it might be Joe Montana
Right.
or somebody that's already moved
Somebody,
on.
if they
So
get hurt, it's okay.
right, exactly. But I'm not wearing none of these current player jerseys because I've learned my lesson. Every time I put on damn Jimmy Garoppolo's jersey, he always either lost or he got hurt. I was like, ain't that I ain't wearing this jersey no more. I ain't wearing nobody's jersey because I just feel like I'm doing the same, like throwing some bad luck on some juju on these guys. You know what I'm saying? I can't wear these jerseys no more. So I wear them on the off time, during the week or something. But game day, jerseys put away. Not wearing them.
Yeah.
So.
I got a funny story on that.
Share
back in when Harbaugh took us to the championship game, and we had the fumble in the rain against the Giants.
I was there.
I was
the
at
last
that.
guy to leave. I was the last guy leaving Candlestick out of there, bro. I swear, I sat there in that stadium by myself.
That was a tough.
The lights
game.
almost went off.
But what I did in that game, I had this badass jersey. It was a team of the century jersey, and it had 42 Ronnie Lott, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and it had Roger Craig, and they had like their little signature stitched on the back. I was like 0-8 wearing that jersey to games, and I wore that jersey to that championship game thinking I could flip the evilness of the L's that I had in that jersey. And Chili Will, at the end of that game, Los came up to me and goes, "Why did you wear that jersey?" And I go, I thought I could flip it because I love this jersey, but I can't win a damn game when I wear it. Right?
Some good juju. Yeah.
It was the last time I wore jerseys to games.
You don't even wear jerseys to game no more?
I don't wear jerseys to games.
I can't do it no more. I'm so like, I'm serious. I feel like I'm just, the cooler or something. I don't know. I just feel like I'm bringing some bad juice when I wear any of these player jerseys, and I can't risk it. I just right now I'm that crazy about it. No, I won't do it.
Especially if it's going to be a tough game. You can wear a jersey when you're going to beat the brakes off of a team or not. But I can't risk playoffs. I can't risk big. But Los, he was like, "Dude, it's your fault." Yeah. Oh, why? Well, he had pulled me aside, like we had why did you do that? Like it was superstitious.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yep, superstitious. There you go. Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas, Rick. Hi, Gloria.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Rick, done checked in all the way he's from Chicago. Nana Glow's in the house, and I think she wore Brock Purdy. Well, no, she didn't wear Brock Purdy. She wore, I think, Christian McCaffrey. I think her and my daughter had Christian McCaffrey jersey, so actually it was good juju, right? Was that right, Nana Glow?
That's good juju.
I'm sure she'll put it in the post, but yeah. But yeah, I'm very superstitious about that now. And again, like I said, I swear every time I donned it for Jimmy, I was like, "Oh, Jimmy, we trust. Let's go." I'm representing this jersey. Wore to that Minnesota game from 2-3 years ago, thinking we were going there, take care of business. Lost. Kansas City game. He runs out of bounds, tries to cut back in, had that jersey on. Lost him for the season. I was like, man, you got to be kidding me. I can't even wear this man's jersey no more. It's crazy. And it was always at those particular games where something happened, or they either lost or he got hurt. Something happened. So, yeah, I'm just sticking to regular 49er jerseys now with my own name on it, and I just roll. I'll just roll like that from now on. I'll be doing it all the way through playoffs, hopefully Super Bowl. But. Yeah, but still the mission is to still maintain that first seed, guys. We got to maintain that first seed.
Yeah.
We got Washington Commanders coming up, this weekend on a short week. So this, I don't know, how do you guys feel about this? I mean, you think the Niners can kind of regroup after this loss? Do you feel like that was okay, they lost. This should be a good wake-up call. Maybe these guys come out a little more fired, maybe not so chummy anymore, and chest bumping their play. Can they go out there and take care of business and get this win?
I think we definitely, again, listen, the Commanders, man, they are so bad. They are so bad. And they're so bad that I don't even know if
we're trying to play spoiler though, right?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. It's not worth it for them to win this game. If they win this game,
draft pick.
They got to think draft. That's the only thing they got to look forward to, because they're going to fire their coach, right? And then what's his name, who came from the Kansas City Chiefs, Eric Bieniemy.
Hmm.
I thought he was a shoe-in for the head coach after they're going to fire, Rivera.
Hmm.
But Washington hasn't looked good with his offense, even though you could make a argument for the fact that Kansas City doesn't look the same without Eric Bieniemy, right?
Hmm.
But my point is that team right now is just so bad, and to mix it in with the fact that they need the draft pick, it would make no sense for them to win this game. It makes no
So,
sense for them
so
to
you're
win this
saying
game.
that? So we'll get there, and they'll probably be pretty chummy with us, saying, "Hey, good tackle, good tackle."
They're gonna be
Thanks for
they're
hitting
gonna be
me and
signing.
tackling me.
They're gonna get autographs from CMC, all that stuff.
Yeah, switching jersey at the end
And
of the game.
so
Showing that
the
Christmas
Titans,
love.
of course, we can't overlook this game. So we lose this game, we're in huge trouble. So
Hmm.
we one game at a time. I'm not even going to talk about the Rams game. I'm just going to focus on this one and
Yeah.
just say we need to beat Washington, and we need to beat the brakes off of them to build up our confidence and get ready for the next game.
Do you feel it made a big difference, Eric Armstead not being in the lineup on defense, as far as the front defensive line?
Yeah, I think so. I think our D line. So we have, if you notice, we have problems with mobile quarterbacks,
Hmm.
and our D line wasn't healthy, and I knew there was going to be some problems with that. And then in the last couple of games, you could see some of we're not stopping the run very well either. So even the Cardinals got off on us a little bit on
Oh
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
big
they
runs,
did. I
right?
think they had
Right?
didn't they have like 200 yards on us, I think?
Yeah,
Right. So
Mm.
I've been watching that, and something about, like, as we get to the end of the season, these defensive linemen in the trenches start wearing down. They need that week off. They need that bye week. They're got ailments. They're fighting through stuff. And my only concern with this game against the Commanders is that it's on New Year's Eve, and you just
Mhm.
want people's heads to be in the game. If they're reading social media, the Niners are already won the Super Bowl, is what these writers write. So this was a good loss. I think it's better to have this now than to have some sort of terrible upset in a playoff game. The other thing I want to see is when we lost our last games, the 3-game losing streak, I want to see Brock Purdy's bounce back game, because he kind of went on a 3-game slump during that time, right? And
Yeah.
this kind of reminded me, this game, of some of the terrible play he had in that 3-game losing streak. So, we've seen some really good things of Brock, and when he's bad, he's bad. So these are like growing pains we keep forgetting he was the last pick of the 7th round, and it's only his 2nd year. We have high expectations for Brock Purdy. He's got over 4,000 yards passing already. He's
4,000. That's what I was going to ask.
He's got 4,000 right now.
Wow,
So he's
nice.
going to have, by the time the season's end, 4,500, passing yards minimum, right? So can he overcome that? And I think that, look, it's an AFC team. I'm going to put this on the coaches too. I'm going to put this one on the coach. I kind of feel the coaches did not adjust, and it was close for a little bit, and then it just got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, it's like, what is it with these AFC teams? We can't seem to get a handle on these guys.
But
right?
The Harbaugh brothers, he's not no slouch of a coach,
Yes.
man.
No,
He's one of the best coaches in the NFL, and he's quietly kept the Ravens up there for years, since 2012.
True. Since we saw them in what was it? 2012.
Right, and their quarterback is a savage. He's quietly one of the best, and they're quietly in first place. They got a humble attitude over there, so he's got that team fired up, and our guys are a little too confident.
I'll tell you this much, I telling Gloria this. I said, I know Baltimore. They're obviously having a great season and number one in AFC, but I'm having this weird feeling somehow, some way, these guys are gonna get.
They're gonna get upset.
Yes, because I know Jackson's been banged up over the years, and they've been like Antonio said, Harbaugh has these guys always, usually during the season, they're playing pretty good football all year, and they've always been that kind of threat of a team. But it just seems like every time they get in the playoffs, man, somebody just out of nowhere just tends to just get their number. You know what I mean? It's the game of football, but I just have a feeling I don't think they're going to make it. But that's just me. That's just on my 2 cents.
It's very possible. I'm with you, Chili, because during yesterday's game, believe it or not, I felt like if we would have scored on that last drive,
yeah,
we had a good chance of coming back to tie this game.
Yep.
And when that sack happened, I was like, okay, it's over.
Yeah.
But before that sack, when we were on the 1 yard line, I'm like, okay, we in.
Right.
I'm like, there shouldn't be any problem getting in. And from that point, we got 3 full timeouts.
Yep.
Let's make it happen. Some defense, shut them out, because they're not going to want to air it out. So they're going to run. We're just going to focus on the run, and we're good.
Yeah.
And that all went out the window. So I'm saying that because I could see the Ravens. Ravens give up these big leads and let people come back on them. I could see that happening in the playoffs.
I'm telling you, watch my words. I have a feeling that I don't know if it'll be Miami, Buffalo, I don't know. Somebody come up there and bite them in where and take these guys out. But we'll see.
We're gonna see what they do against Miami this week, right?
Oh, that's right.
Miami is another team. Mostert's just balling right now over there for Miami. I think that that's a team that could possibly upset the Ravens, right? So, I mean, they got. I mean, their head coach is very similar to Kyle, so he was under his wing. So there's some things that are going on in the AFC, but I'm going to chalk this one to the game. I'm not too concerned. I think that this is a good game to keep the guys on edge. They all know how important this is. Playing Christmas is kind of like, I mean, we looked at this game as fans as just, oh my gosh, let's have time with the family and fun. I wasn't in my normal let's effing win mode. I was in a happy mode. Like,
You're just like, hey, it's Christmas, man. I'm out here with the 49 faithful, my family. We're having a great time. Y'all chilling down there with E40 and everything. I'm like,
that's how the team came out too. They were like, man, it's Christmas, man. I'm going to be nice to these guys, and then that's exactly what the energy was.
Yeah, I felt the same too. Came in there, I knew it was a big game, but not really sweating it. Even if I knew they were going to come up short in my loss, I was like, okay, just one loss because we kind of had that little cushion anyway, because Philly lost and Dallas lost some other games. So, but now we got to just take care of our business, maintain that number 1 seed. And, here on out, we got to win the next 2, and I'm sure if they do that, we'll be good. It's gonna be all good, and I'm sure Brock Purdy, he's gonna regroup from this. He every time he has has a bad game, like Antonio said, he has his ups and his downs, and hopefully he can regroup and bring the team back up next week. He still leads quarterback rating. Brock Purdy still leads with 112.
Yeah,
out of everybody in the NFL. So I know all these analysts are trying to cut him down at the knees and try to, so I told you so kind of thing. But I don't know what they're talking about. It's like, what? That we just did not bring our A game. They did. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Time to move on. All right. You got bragging rights for a day. Ravens, great, wonderful. Now we're gonna move on. And we got another game to play, So we'll see. Things gonna, this is the NFL, man. Things change. You guys know. Anything can happen.
This team is reminds me of the 2010 San Francisco Giants. They're kind of scrappy. They're either, the Giants used to win like 1-0. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these guys when they're out of it, they just like
a walk-off win, huh?
Yeah, they like throwing the towel. But it also reminds me of, we've been spending a lot of time with John Taylor on these trips, Chili Will, and that 88 team was 10-6. and
Yeah.
they like I'm looking
They
at the
started out
stats.
bad that year.
Yeah, they started off
Nobody
real
even
bad.
knew that was going to happen. Yeah.
Right. And then even on the last game of the season against the Rams, they lost 16-38. They got blown out. And then they go on into the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. So it is, and I remember watching the 88 year was a crazy year for me. But that last game against the Rams, I was furious. I was like, how are we losing to the Rams?
Yeah.
And they were just blowing us out. And it was probably one of the best things that happened for the Niners going into the playoffs, right? Because they ended up getting it done. And then that last game against Cincinnati in the Super Bowl, they had the drive. But
That was amazing, man. Thinking back on that, man, you're right. That was amazing because you remember they actually had to go into Chicago.
Yep.
And play Chicago, and that's what
in the cold.
Everybody was saying. There's no way the Niners can win this game because they're from California.
Yep.
Cannot handle the cold out here and the snow. They did not give us a weeping chance to making winning that game. But shoot, Montana went in there, cut them fools up, and it was like,
Jerry Rice couldn't even see the ball in the fog.
Mm-hmm.
When he was saying, like, some of those passes, he just was like where he lost it in the air, still catching them. But they went into that playoff run with a really bad loss to the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at 95, there was the Eagles game where they were, Steve Young throws the tantrum on the sideline. I mean, there's something that has to trigger the team. That's how I look at this game, basically. In history of
based on triggers.
We're still in our control of our destiny. It's not a time to panic. We do have 2 games. You want to look ahead to the Rams, but that's a home game, right? So you go on the road on New Year's Eve. You just want the guys to stay healthy. We're a little banged up on that D line. You can see the running game problem starting to happen.
Little wear and tear, Yeah. They recently signed. I was just checking out. They signed defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph Day. He's a former player from the Chargers. So we'll see what he brings to the table because I hear he was pretty good. Trying to check out some tape on him. They signed back. They got their guy Matt Pryor back, offensive tackle. So little backup there on the old line. But I'm sure that's probably because of Trent Williams. We don't know what's going to happen with him. So I hope Trent Williams can be back for both of these games. But if we can get that bye week and get that week off, that's going to help this team so much more. And they're going to be absolutely locked in after that. I mean, it's go time.
It just tells you how bad they're going to need that bye. Trent Williams was out on the 3-game losing streak, right?
Yeah.
So, he's such an important piece to the offensive line, to the running game. So, Shanahan's going to have to probably play a little more conservative. What I'm noticing is when Brock Purdy has a bad game, you gotta adjust and take some of the pressure off of him. And I didn't see Shanahan doing that.
Yeah. I think maybe you could have gotten Mason a little more into that running game, because Rio was even saying, if they'd have probably stayed focused more with the running game, that could have
I agree.
helped stabilize a lot of that pressure, but hey, like I said, I'm watching the Ravens. I was pretty impressed. I mean, these guys were swarming to the ball and they would these cats, they were locked in, and game time and I don't feel like our boys weren't, like you said, they kind of came in with a little too jolly, like, hey, buddy, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
How's mom? Everybody at the house, shoot, man, this is game time, brothers. You don't know, what's riding on this game. I mean, everybody's watching this. This is nationally televised.
Yeah.
So you better come out looking. There's not many 2 Monday night games our boys come out looking like that. You know what I'm saying? They usually come out and take care of business. Monday Night Football. So
right. We played like we had everybody had something to do right after the game. Like they wanted, that's how they seem. That's how. We all know how busy Christmas can be.
Yeah, a very family moment. I get it. And like you said, probably just looking ahead, and God knows what they were thinking in their minds, but you would have thought a little more focus in their game and bringing a little more tougher. You're right. They just didn't really look ready.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah,
It wasn't a good look, man.
It wasn't. But yeah, on a little happier note, I was telling Rio this guy, I texted to him this I came across. I don't know if you've seen this because it was on like I guess TikTok or Instagram, but some guy man hit a 14 pick parlay.
What?
14 pick. He paid $5, and guess how much he won?
How much?
$490,000.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So he picked 14 different players to score a touchdown from the different teams, and they all did. And Christian McCaffrey was the last one.
Wow.
And they showed.
He said did it by players. Okay.
Yeah, he did by players. Yeah, it was it looked like he picked single individual players from each game or whatever to score a touchdown. And
That's incredible.
What would you do if that was you on Christmas Day, bro? Like, do you just
man, I'm buying a suite for the Super Bowl for all y'all. We going up there. We partying, brother. That sucker.
We partying.
Wow.
Shoot, Vegas, boy. Oh yeah.
I know.
Shoot. I mean,
Sheila, were you booked already?
Yes, I'm booked and we have our flight tickets. We're prepared and ready to get on out there. My nephew has he actually called and said, we got a what do you call it, the timeshare.
Yes.
Timeshare out there. So it's like it's a pretty big timeshare. He asked me, you want in? You want to come out there stay? And so I'm like, well, yeah, as long as I got a bed. I ain't trying to sleep on no floor or nothing.
Right,
so that'll work. But I see I got my backup. I got 9 of Rio, you know what I'm saying? Rio Suites. Right. I got Rio Suites out there.
Real. We gotta hook up, guys, because
definitely, man. You know it's gonna happen, brother.
The Teofimo Lopez fight is Thursday night that week too. So they just announced that those tickets ain't out on sale yet. We might have to go to a boxing match, guys, on Thursday.
Man. I ain't never been to a boxing match. So.
Yeah,
never been to a boxing match. Are you into the boxing or no?
I haven't watched boxing like I used to back in the days when Tyson and Tito and all them guys were, Manny Pacquiao, all those people were fighting. I feel like those days were fun. Nowadays, I gotta retrain myself to get into boxing because I lost a lot of faith in if boxing was really real. I felt like there's a lot of gimmicks going on. It felt like more WWE.
Felt like little Vegas stuff going on.
A lot.
Yeah, I kind of really fell out of love with boxing. I mean, I was the same way. I was all caught up in it when Sugar Ray days. My boy Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I mean, I was, and Tyson, of course, comes along, kills everybody. And then you had the Hitman Hearns, all them guys. But since then, and then what's his name, Holmes?
Yeah, all them, man.
All those guys. But now I just feel like, I kind of drifted off from boxing after that.
But I would still enjoy it. I would still love to go.
I
always wanted to go to a boxing match. I feel like I need some of the things I need to take off my bucket list as a boxing match, UFC fight,
MGM, brother,
UFC fight, stuff like that.
I wouldn't mind check out some of them UFC fights, man. I mean, that's a new big thing too. I was following that for a while too, some of them fighters, but man, it's like now you got so many different ones and so many of these different UFC. I can't even keep up with them all now. You know what I'm saying? So, but that would be fun to check out one of those events. I want to try to get myself up in the MSG Sphere, whatever they call it, man. Check out those shows.
Yeah.
That looks crazy.
I wonder if that should be fun. It should show the Super Bowl over there. That would be cool.
How was the Durango, Rio? What'd you think?
Durango was cool. My only thing about it is that so there's 2 openings. There's Durango opened up, and there was another casino that just opened up probably about a week after, called Fontainebleau or Blue or whatever.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So
where's that one at?
That one is across from Circus.
Oh yeah,
they've been working on that for like it feels like 15 years because somebody who was doing it they stopped in the middle of construction and then somebody else bought it, took over.
Oh,
But
that's what happened. Okay.
if I'm gonna be honest with you, man, that Durango is nice.
Yeah.
My gripe with it is that they overpacked it with like they don't give any space when it comes to the slot machines and everything is like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
they really
Hey,
packed
you
you
turn
in.
around, you're gonna bump right into another
No,
jackpot
you'll bump.
machine, and
You
you're
do
gonna turn
like
into
this. If
another
you
one and
if
bump
you
into
you
another.
hit a jackpot, you hitting the person behind you or something, right?
Wow.
That's
Wow.
automatic. It was packed
Wow.
like sardine. Now you go to the Fountain Blue. Now you feel like you stepped into luxury.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Like for
Okay.
real,
I'm gonna
for
check
real.
those out.
Like you step in there, you like, wow, okay, you know.
Come on,
It,
Tone.
it,
We're gonna go down there, man. Check
I'm
that new place
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
you got to trust me. Trust me. You walk in there, you feel it. Like that, the lobby, the entrance, everything, man. It's like it's incredible.
Wow.
It's real, really, really, really nice. They did a really good job. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, they said from what I've heard, they said it looks really nice and
Very, very high end.
yeah, that's what they're saying. Looks
Very
really
high
good.
end.
Well,
You know.
Tone likes high end places because he be dressed up looking all high end everywhere he go down in Vegas. Though, but man be looking like, who's this brother right here, man? Shoot, I
No,
know you excited to check it
Adrian,
out.
my boy Adrian said that the steakhouse next to Durango was really, really good. He said that we got to all eat
Oh,
there.
really? I love a good steakhouse.
Yeah, he
What's
said
the name
You
of
have
it?
to go with.
he says it's like a building next to it. I can't think of the
Oh, it's building
name,
next to it. Okay, it's not
or it's
inside of it.
it's inside. He said that he knows one of the people there, and he says we all have to have like a dinner there because it's really good.
Yeah, let's make it happen. That's one. Now this one, the Durango, that's the one that's just kind of a little on the outskirts, right? In the
Yeah.
That's close to my
I don't
buddy's
want to say it. I
house.
don't want
That's
to say.
what's
I
so
don't want to say the
crazy.
hood, but it's like out there in the outskirts. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, he's right down the
it's
street from
it,
Adrian.
it's
Yeah,
over there. It's over there by IKEA.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it seems like it's a real kind of different spot of town. Yeah, I
Yeah.
look forward to that for sure. But yeah, we coming up on our hour, guys, and so with that said, week 17 approaching fastly. We Niners flying out to the East Coast, 3,000 miles, take on the Washington Commanders. And what do you think? What do you guys score predictions in this game? And what do you guys think at home? What the score is going to be? Do the Niners rebound and come back strong or stronger?
I
Put
think they
these
do.
guys to waste, or could this be a trap game?
35-14.
85-14. Ooh, okay.
Yep.
What you got, Tone?
I think they're a little. I think the Niners are upset. They're going to come back, and I think they're going to be in the 30s. I'm going to say 32-10.
32-10. Okay.
Sam Darnold will play the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, most likely. So you said 32, you said 35. So I'm gonna say, yeah, they're probably gonna score like 30 some points. So yeah, I'll say what does it say? 36-10.
Yeah,
36-10. I say the Niners come back strong and they're gonna leave happy, and then week 18 coming up after that, and just let's secure this number 1 seed. And yeah, let's just hope these guys, man, they just keep the focus. And I'm sure they obviously understand what they're up against now, and that number 1 seed spot means more than ever to happen. So any golden nuggets, Niner Rio? Oh, real quick, congratulations to you and your fiance Rio. You proposed to her last week on Thursday, was
Popped
it?
the question on Thursday.
Oh, wonderful.
Congrats, man.
Appreciate
Congrats. Oh yeah, we got to celebrate now. We got to
Yeah,
celebrate at this Vegas
Yes,
Super
let's
Bowl.
celebrate.
it. Oh yeah, we got big
Yeah.
celebration.
Good, nice, and yeah, really happy for you, and I'm glad. I know she'd be really happy when she saw that ring.
Oh yeah, that
Like,
ring. I've been getting a lot of phone calls about that ring. People were asking me. I didn't know that you was slanging on the side. You know what I mean?
oh,
How'd you
Bookie.
come? How'd you get that?
Hey, Hey, River Rio
man.
was bringing it,
I was
boy.
like, man, listen, I was doing a bunch of parlays, parlay to get that. All right.
No golden nuggets for us before we go.
Man, listen, golden nugget is that the Niners are gonna be pissed off. They're gonna have to win big to get themselves ready, especially for this Rams game. So take the Niners.
Take the
Take
Niners.
the
I'm trying to
Niners.
see what this. Do you know what the spread is? Let's see.
I don't even know the spread. Saying take the Niners. That's how much I know that this is gonna happen this time. Because
Okay.
and the funny thing is, a little side note, I told my brother this
We're giving up
this
13
weekend.
and a half.
We got it. I told my brother this weekend. When day before Christmas, we see these 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Oh man, that's juicy. That's easy money,
Mm-hmm.
right?" I'm like, "Listen, there's no way in the world that Vegas is going to allow all 3 of those teams to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me,
Oh.
they won't, because if you allow all 3 teams to cover, that means any Joe Blow could just walk up and say, "Give me all these 3 teams, put 100 on all 3 teams."
Right. Psychological.
Right? There's no way Vegas is going to let that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew, and we already knew KC. They've been throwing games all year. So KC, I knew they weren't going to cover. I thought that, Philly was going to outright lose.
I thought they were going to lose too.
Okay.
They almost, Giants almost came back and tied that up.
They didn't cover. And then to my surprise, of course, the Niners outright lose. So if I would have took my own advice and just picked the opposite, I would have did well this weekend.
Oh, man.
If I just did the opposite.
Remind me when I see you out there, I gotta give you a good smack over the head. Still mad about that Purdy pick.
Well, actually, we might have dodged the bullet, because after this game,
oh, that's true.
He's not going to win.
That's true.
He's not going to win. It would take a miracle for him to win at this point.
Because they wouldn't announce that till like after the Super Bowl anyway, correct? Or would it be in playoffs?
It's the week. I think it's the week before the Super Bowl. Is it the week before or week after the Super Bowl where they do NFL honors? Mm-hmm. Where they do all the awards?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they don't. So we won't know until after the season. But it's based on the season, not based on the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But, Yeah. But let me tell you what I'm going to look into.
Uh-oh.
And I'm going to give you the odds next week.
Okay.
MVP odds for CMC and Purdy for the Super Bowl. That I'm going to drop some money on. And if it's in my app, I'm going to do it. Because we in the Super Bowl is either CMC or Purdy. That's going to be MVP. And if we get that now, we get a nice juicy hit. We can't wait till they get to the Super Bowl. We got to do it now.
So we won't obviously know until these teams are in the Super Bowl for those odds, right?
No, they give some odds out now because
what are the odds? Do you know the odds of it now, or you got to check it?
Okay, if you want to give me 1 minute, let me see if I pull it up right now. If we got a minute to pull this up, I know.
I might have to tell you right
Chili's
now.
ready. Chili's ready. He's like, I'm a zell you right now. Look at this. Look. Hold on. Let's see what we got going on.
I hate betting on my team though. Let's see, that's another bad luck. I'm like the cooler man. I'm telling you. I'm just
don't worry about betting on your team, man. Let me tell you. So we gotta go. NFL futures. No, don't think about it, man. We go NFL. Let's see. Future bets. All right, where we got Super Bowl winner, regular season MVP. I don't think they have it yet. They just got Super Bowl MVP. I do not see. I don't see the Super Bowl.
That's all right. Do your research and hit us back next Tuesday.
Yeah,
we come off this Washington win, and we get more digressing that. But if you do see some hot numbers, man, text me.
Yeah, I got you.
All right. All right. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you guys being with us on the show and tuning in. You can always listen to us and hear us on Spotify. We're doing that podcasting on all these Spotify and Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, and Google platforms. So make sure you check us out on that. And if you miss the show, you can always listen to us in the car and you're back to work or going home from work and having a good time. But always appreciate and love the faithful and everybody that support the channel. Remember also to hit the subscribe and like button and show some more love and support, man. Appreciate you guys. And Rio and Tone, it's been real, man. So we're getting close, man. This playoffs is happening, and we can't wait.
I did want to say anybody that's going to be in Washington D.C. The party, the meet and greet, and the watch party will both be held at Tom's Watch Bar with the Washington chapter, and that should be a fun
good. I'm
one.
glad you brought that up.
New Year's Eve party over there at Tom's Watch Bar in Washington D.C.
Tom, there you go. Tom's Watch Bar in Washington D.C. And I guess doors open 10:00, 11?
Yeah, they'll have a Saturday party, and then that'll be the meet and greet, and then Sunday they'll have a watch party for those who are not going to the game, and then Sunday night will be a New Year's Eve party.
Oh, good nuggets. That's good to know. So, Faithful, I hope you heard that. It's going to be happening in Washington. 49er Faithful, you know how we do it every time that's always some of the best fun as a 49er Faithful is being able to be on the road. Because look, I got to be my man Antonio and Rio, everybody. It's always fun when you're out on the road and when you're with 49er Faithful because you meet more just 49er Faithful family and friends and sometimes you make friends for life. So make sure you check it out if you're out there in Washington. I know we got a lot of Faithful out there on the East Coast, so I'm sure it will be pretty packed. And we got the best fans turning out all these road games anyway, and they say we're like number one, so we got to keep it up. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy your rest of your holiday week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. You guys take care. We're out.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.